This is Odion. Odion versus Artmage. Let's go. The Primite Man. Lordy load, grabbing the barrel. This could be a nice, slow, controlled deck. Just control them very slowly. Some for the deck, the Trumpeteer. Let's turn these two into the Lambda. Lambda allows the Delta to be activated. Now, the Delta negates a spell. Is this your anti-Dracotail tech, maybe? That's why you're playing this? Let's see what's good. Dark Ruler no more. Now, you can't use Delta to negate my spells. Very good. Let's activate the Artmage Vandalism, searching for Medius the Pure. Medius the Pure is going to activate a summon from the deck. And people were asking me, Decade, how do I use hand traps? Well, I said if you don't know the deck you're playing against, you generally don't want to negate the effect to add a card from the deck to the hand, because in modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, for a deck to be good, they usually have a better effect that interacts with the deck, like summoning from the deck. So with Blunty potentially knowing nothing, that's a simple add. I'm not negating. Summon from the deck, okay, that's a negate. Negate the Medius. As bad we go, let's wipe out the Lambda. And the Drill Beam was dead, unfortunately. We don't have a normal card. The Trumpeteer was needed. But due to the Trumpeteer being engraved, the barrel recycles itself back. And now we can activate the Drill Beam. And we're going to want to, because Drill Beam will reset itself back on the field. So anything, even if it's not a great activation, just Drill Beam something. Now, we obviously have to ensure that it is activatable. To battle we go, 22 over the Medius. Now, what is the Artmage Vandalism doing? Who cares? Just banish it away, because we're going to recycle the Drill Beam right away. Reset back onto the field. Lordy Load, Trumpeteer, reborn back from the grave. Let's further go into the Lambda. Another one. Damn. How many Psy-frames are in your deck? This is interesting. Vandalism. Delta is going to negate with the monster on the field. Mate, doesn't Lambda search for a card in the end phase? Only if you activated if a psychic monster is banished face up while you control this monster, then you could add a Psy-frame card. Okay. There's a condition to being able to even search. Goodbye. Negate and destroy the Vandalism. Let's super poly it up. Discarding our other Vandalism to fuse into the Garura. Now, we're going to further Medius the Pure in graveyard. If this card's in the graveyard, you could shuffle one monster in your hand or face up. If you do special summon this card, Bell. We're playing Bell because of Dracotail. Well, now it's also affecting other decks. You are the collateral damage here. On the attack for 3,000, and if sent to the grave, we would have drawn a card. We're now banished off the field. Be gone. Power Patron by itself does nothing. During the main phase, you could fusion summon, which we have no other monster to fuse with. Okay. Straight up, no Odion needed, just tanked completely, mostly by the Primite. Now, I want to see Artmage do well, please. Between these two decks, Artmage is the underdog. Let's do it. Let's right now. Discard a spell, declare the Graflair. Let's add that, as we're now going to follow up with the Vandalism, searching for Medius the Pure. Let's additionally normal summon Medius the Pure to summon from the deck. Let's chain Max C to then see how well this deck does against a Foolos or Max C. As we summon into the Power Patron, which will trigger into a fusion summon, Deactorus is an Omni Negate, but you have to have 3 different monster types in the field. And to do that under Max C, that's going to be quite difficult. We have Purged, negating the Power Patron from searching the deck. As we're now going to further search the deck again with our field spell. Laterra is here. More special summoning under Max freaking C. We're going to set the Artmage Varnish into the back row, further searching for the Finmel. You can't do more. What swag key? Are you out of your damn mind? Further special summoning. He does not care. Even more. They're going to have 9 cards. And the 9 cards are against what exactly? This will be when your opponent activates a card effect. The card effect has to be on the field. You then negate the activation and destroy. We then have non-target negate the opposing monsters on the field, all of them. We could also Graflair pop a back row card. Is that even a disruption? I'd say we just have 2. All right, let's go. I'm trying to check for any continuous effects here. Anything if Artmage would be destroyed, you can protect. The field spell. setting up the back row cards after Pata Ian it up. We have the Graflair activating to wipe away the Treasure of the Kings. We're going to use the Drill Beam to negate and banish, which we could then negate the negate mate. Are we doing that? He's actually targeting the Deactorus. I think something's making us untargetable, actually. Deactorus is activating, which it does not need to be on the field to resolve, but it does trigger when sent to the graveyard or by the opponent. So if this fusion card is destroyed by the Ogre, we can then special summon a Medius Pure from the hand, deck, or banishment. You're now triggering that effect, mate. I think that Ogre was a mistake. Big mistake. As we negate the Drill Beam. Graflair. Popping away the Treasure of the Kings, which if we had the Odion, it would have protected it. No! Call by the Grave, fingering our Deactorus. Latera. During your opponent's main phase, you could special summon an Artmage from your hand or graveyard except Latera. We're gonna Ghost Spell, negate that, mate. No way. I thought this was a trigger effect. It's just simply quickly reborn if you freaking want to. Okay. Well, now the Deactorus does officially get negated and banished. And is something making it so we can't be targeted? Your opponent cannot target level 6 or lower Artmage you control card effects. Okay, the continuous effect is on Finmel. Finmel, non-target, negate the barrel. Does Graflair have an effect? The first time this card would be destroyed by battle, it is not, so he's selfish. He doesn't protect the other cards. Does Latera have a continuous? You take no damage involving battles with this card. Now, what the heck could this be doing that's relevant? When your Artmage is targeted for an attack, you could banish this to negate the attack. Then, you could special summon a Medius Pure from the hand, which you don't have. But we negate the attack. Let's go. Interesting. The Drill Beam is activatable. The Impulse is activatable. The Graflair is going to try to wipe away that Drill Beam as we then activate it to banish away the field spell. And we have 2 more copies in our hand. Now, the Time Thief Redoer did not activate because it is negated. Why didn't we activate the Time Thief? I'm not so sure on that. The Finmel is only activatable in the main phase to negate the Time Thief Redoer. We didn't want a chance to grab a trap off the top of the deck. Purge. Oh my gosh, you're under Purge, bro. Purge says Dark Water and Fire cannot activate for the rest of the duel. This totally would have happened in a freaking YCS. Ain't no way. Dark Ruler no more. Why did you do that? Why? What? Weren't you supposed to discard Dark Ruler no more? What the heck? We lost fuel for our field spell? The Power Patron of Creation is here. Now, this card is nuts. You better chain link block this or you lose. Why is that? In response to an Artmage monster effect, you can make the activate effect only if you directly chain to the effect if the opponent does not chain link block it to destroy all cards your opponent controls. So we can't block this effect. We would change it if we wanted to. We didn't want to. Okay. And it's only a monster effect. When you activate an Artmage monster, we change it. We have the Medius the Pure. I guess we're not going to be activating it. We didn't have lethal damage even if we did. Well, we have the Dark Ruler no more for no freaking reason. I think maybe he forgot about the Purge also. We had the barrel being added back. Now, the Finmel can activate, then we could change the effects, right? Can you block this? Anything. Chain something. Nothing, then we could wipe away your field if we want to. But if we wipe it, you then are not going to get negated. So we would, in fact, rather negate your monster instead. So without even activating the effect to wipe away the field, we were able to still win the duel. Does this do anything beyond being able to do that? While a card's in the field zone, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. So indestructible by card effects, 3,300 with the opportunity to wipe the field whenever you want. 1-1, pretty cool. Again, is the deck that inconsistent? You have to play Primite with it. So how many cards go into the man? Let's look into that. I think it's 9, right? 9 of them. 3 mans, 3 field spells, and 3 Anubis. I guess sometimes you play 2, it looks like. Max C in the draw phase with the Delta being activatable. We're going to cross out Designate, which we can negate this with the Delta. Holy moly. Protect your Max C. Negate. Very well done. I'm not familiar with the man decks playing Cyframe Lord Lambda. I think this is his custom brew. We're going to Super Poly, discard away the Patron to fuse up into the Garura. Graflair is a level freaking 5, so we have to control an Artmage card to even special summon this. We're going to activate the Artmage Varnish. We're going to place an Artmage field spell from the deck or graveyard face up into your zone, and it's going to get negated. No field spell search for you. RIP. That's okay. We're going to follow up with the Artmage Vandalism to search for Medius the Pure. And now we can special summon Grifflair if we want to. Medius the Pure, summon from the deck into the Patron. Patron on summons, going to fusion summon. All under max frequency. We have the Deactorus. Now, Deactorus right now, but now is activatable. Otherwise, it would not have been. We need 3 different monster types in the field, which we do have. Grifflair attempting to pop away the Swamp Deity. Swamp Deity is going to be summoning from the back row. Is this the continuous trap that even does negates? Yeah, we would need another continuous card, which we didn't have one. Let's take out the Delta, 2800 to the face. When the opponent activates a card or effect on the field only, 3 or more different types. We got Wing, we got Fairy, we have Dragon. We will negate and destroy. This is it. Summon the Barrel. When are we negating and destroying? We're chilling. Just wait it. Drill Beam reset. We don't care about that. Not activated the turn it's set. Treasure of the Kings. We're going to Grifflair pop it on activation. On activation, set an Apophis Trap from the deck. Okay? Ooh, we can't negate now. That's it. The negate is turned off. Garura drawn into the Fool Loss. And with the negate turned off, we may as well Typhon bounce it back. Typhon is unironically good if you have a lot of hand traps or a lot of traps. Otherwise, it's trash. But in the man deck, this then turns out to be good. Now, we're going to be ready with the Verdict of Anubis, and we're going to want to understand and ruling with this card, which I don't know until I read the card. When would this be activatable? When the opponent activates a spell and trap card while you control 3 or more other spell and traps, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. Then if you control a Temple of the Kings, you could then destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible, then inflict damage to your opponent equal to half of the total original attack of those destroyed monsters. The question is, can we destroy or negate an already face-up spell or trap? It's already face-up, right? They activate the field spell. Can we wipe them out? Are we doing this in the YCS feature match? We would, but that would be illegal. This is only a spell and trap card, not the effect of a spell and trap. Only if activated from the hand or activated from flipping it face-up on the field. Drill Beam is activated. Get rid of the Grifflair. As we summon the Apophis Serpent, we're going to chain the Max C to the Ash Negate. And we can't discard Fool Loss for the Artmage field spell. It has to discard a spell and trap card. That's why you want to be playing cards like Droplet. You want to be playing Super Poly even, which Swag Key is correctly doing. So it's not that he built this deck incorrectly, he just got unlucky. We've seen Super Poly from him. Medius the Pure is going to be reborn from the graveyard, and then, damn, I got no play after that. Swag Key, I appreciate you immensely. If you have some good replays of Artmage, let me know. If it's saved to your profile, I would definitely like to highlight them. Let's hop in another. Key to Dracotail, grabbing the Lucius here. We have Ghost Spell, which can be used against any of the traps to completely stop it from drawing a card and its disruptive effect. We have Femina activating into a Fool Loss. Now, I would say this deck performs exceptionally well against Fool Loss and Max C. They only have to fuse once. They only have to give the opponent 1 draw, and then we could trigger at minimum 1 Dracotail in the graveyard, possibly even more, setting up our disruptions, and then back to you. We have the Arthalion, which is going to be targeting the Femina to add back to the hand here. Now, if people are going to be on Ghost Spell, you have to play around this. This is an effect that interacts with the graveyard, so you got to put the Arthalion on the lower chain link. Lower chain link so it does not get belled. Set and pass. So our forms of disruption are really going to be Magnum Hub banishing with the Veiler to grab another dragon within the end phase. Ooh, grabbing the Urgula. We don't have to grab another Bestial. I would say the Bestials are very good, not only for their disruptive effect, but getting that extra body in the field to help summon an Anaconda. That's great, because that's what I'm thinking. Anaconda and Bestial. It also helps set up the Floodgate play much more easily. Now, beyond that, how many disruptions do we have? We have the Flame Negate a spell, we could banish cards in the grave, we could fusion summon, about triple disruption plus the Max C. What's good? Femina activating to fuse it up. We're going to be chaining our Max C to it. Now, mind you, we chose to set the spell negate, not the monster return back effect. We're going to chain Ash Blossom to negate that Max C. Negate. And here is the big play. Woo, we're going to fuse 2 bodies from the hand, so we're going to get double effect on our Arthalion, target 2 cards in the field or in the graveyard. We're going just for our own grave. target the Ashe, target the Femina. Now this is scary. What's scary is this will non-target destroy back row. We don't know what back row is about to be destroyed here. It's random. Now, it's actually not random. Yusuf knows that's a flame. Yusuf, with precision, could get rid of the flame because it was set from the deck. So this even more so increases the skill ceiling of the mirror match where Yusuf decided or forgot about flame. Hey, I could deal with the flame. Just let that be set there. Let's deal with the unknown. Did know about the sting. Let's get that out of here. Now the Rahu, we knew that. It was there. We had the option to get rid of it. So obviously we have a play through it. It's just Ghost Bell. That's it. Bell counters the flame. The other card's unknown. Get rid of that. Perfect. And I talked about this in my combo video. Consider playing Ghost Bell to help deal with this matchup. We got Gulamel here. Now, if Gulamel was insane, it would say if a Dracotail card activates, so it would work off both players. It does not. It's only when you activate a Dracotail card, so you still want to try to chain link block their Gulamel with a Dracotail card if you can. And by the way, this Femina is dead. It's not even a fusion summon. Well, why did that count as a disruption? Well, the sting or the flame was supposed to be activatable to draw a freaking card. Had we drawn a card, we would have very likely drawn into a monster to turn on the Femina. So we are absolutely turned off. And that means that should Sting have preemptively activated, or, you know, I guess we didn't want our flame to get destroyed. It's how much we valued the spell negates, which we thought would actually go through, or trying to guarantee draw a card to at least turn on the Femina. 8,300 damage, just like that. Finish him. And this deck could really sneak out lethal plays with an effect that a lot of you are going to forget about a lot. And the effect is if two or more monsters are sent to the grave at the same time while it's in the grave, reborn back, and it has no attack restriction. It could still attack that turn. It could even attack directly. 1-0. We passed. That's it. We passed. Fool loss was our turn one play to make sure we put no cards in the field, obviously. 5 hand traps. All right. And you have to know this. If you are playing against Dracotail and they pass turn one with no play, what is the absolute ideal scenario for you? You'd have to be counting up the bricks for the deck. What's a brick? The most brick, like a Malulu plus any hand trap, that's not a freaking brick. The bricks are Pan. The bricks are Urgula. The bricks are technically the traps, but then they would have set a card onto the field. So unless their hand is filled to the brim with Pans and Urgulas, then they have to have a good hand full of hand traps. Don't get too excited. Let's see what happens. Lucius goes through. We are holding on to the Veiler. We're going to chain Fool Loss to the Rahu. We do have Ashe to negate the Fool Loss, but we could then chain Maxi. And this is where the fear kicks in. Do we push for lethal damage? This is it. Do we go all the way? Femina is going to be fusing it up, come forth into the Arthalion. Arthalion's going to be able to target cards from either field, either graveyard, returning them back to the hand. We used one card in the hand, so we're going to just return one. We have Gulamel being summoned off of the Rahu, which we're going to draw thanks to the Maxi. We're going to be returning back. Urgula is going to be setting a trap. Pan and Lucius are also going to be setting up cards in the back. We're going to Veil or negate the Arthalion from simply just trying to return back the Ghost Bell. Prioritizing Bell to help deal with the mirror match here. The Bell also negates Magnum Hut. Knowing that he would negate my Magnum Hut, of course I got to stop him from adding back that Bell. Magnum Hut possibly is going to be needed to stop lethal damage. And the dude still has Branded Fusion ready. When is he going to want to whip out that Branded Fusion play? It's going to be a secret. We're going to add back the Femina with the Urgula, and just like that, Branded Fusion, we're going to send the Albaz plus the Frixel on summon. We're going to be triggering the Albion Branded Dragon plus the Frixel to further set for the deck. We're going to add a Fool Loss into the fray, ensuring we draw 2 off of this play, and Magnum Hut is going to banish away the Albaz. Now, you can't just say, okay, I don't want to fuse anymore. You still have to fuse if there's a proper fusion summon. Something that could legally be summoned here. Let's see. Albion, forcibly going into the Secretarion Dragon. 11,000 damage in the field. Key 2 Dracotail, thanks to the Bestial. You got to be careful about this. And we also didn't chain link block. Did we have a way to chain link block? We did not. So he gets to directly chain to a Dracotail card to pop a card in the field. And, well, now the Key 2 Dracotail doesn't get the additional effect of fusion summoning. Maybe that we wouldn't even want to do that because we're under the effect of Maxi and Fool Loss. And just like that, 11,000 damage. And if you want to further help deal with this deck, I wish I would have added it in my combo guide, you can consider Super Poly. Super Poly into the Secretarion Dragon. While you control this fusion summon card, your opponent cannot activate the effects of special summon dragon or spellcasters. That's the Gulamel and the Artmage that can't activate. I believe the most popular way to play this in the OCG was at 60. As we Diablo Star Black Witch, setting up the Deception Sinful. Deception Sinful, I would say, is a good Ash, but we do have Droll and Lockbird. We're going to Ash instead, just like that. Negate the search mate. Philia Diabelle's going to be searching for Diabelles. We can now Droll them. Now, the Diabelles could send from the deck the Diablo Star, but we need a trap to be able to banish to even get the play going. That's going to be unfortunate. So instead, we're going to send a Silvera from the deck to the grave, not a Morian. Morian would have been resettable. Now, what's great here is getting our Diablo Star Vengeance in the back row through the Snake Eye Chase and then summoning it from the back row within the end phase. Well done. But still, a Morian being set in the back row would have been ideal here to give us an additional disruption. Now, the Vengeance itself is a double disruption. And the Diabelle's secret effect of your monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects can be beneficial against the Dracotail Pan. Pan would destroy a monster on the field. Also, the Gulamel would destroy a monster on the field. Key 2, Dracotail gets the additional effect. If the opponent controls a monster, we could fuse on the resolution after the search. You have the Artmage. This will target 2 cards on the field or in the graveyard. We're targeting the Vengeance just like that. And we're going to non-target destroy a back row card on resolution. We're also setting an additional play. We're going to chain the Wanted Seeker, as the Diablo Star Vengeance is going to wipe out the Artmage to then summon a Synchro Tuner. The Tuner will be synchroed with the Diabelles. As we add back Diablo Star with the Wanted, Lucas is going to set up the Rahu to fuse with the deck, set up the Horn, goodbye to the Deception, and Vengeance gets returned back. We still have a disruptive play here. We're going to go preemptively into the Snake Eye Vengeance. We're not waiting. And then we're going to take control of it. Well, I'm going to target their engrave monster. Interesting. Urgula wants to be untouched in grave so it could return a spellcaster back to the hand. Before you make that play, I'm going to push it into the back row. Nope. What's interesting is we could have activated that first, but I guess, we would have targeted the other card then. Okay, interesting how that works. The Rahu is going to fuse the deck, and now you try to stop them with the Urgula, they just play another one. There you go. At least 2 copies here. Malulu is triggering with the optional ability to negate one of your opponent's monsters. So we can't negate our own monster we took control of to then give it back during the end phase. You have a spell negate. We have return a monster back. You have Ash negate an interaction with the deck. You have lethal damage because Vengeance reduces our life points by half to pop a card in the freaking field. Earl is winning with 1 card in both matches. That 1 card is triple tactics talent. It won him the match for both, or the duel that is, for both games. With triple tactics, he stole a retaliating sea out of their hand. Well, not stole, he returned it back to the deck. Took the Vengeance Dragon. TTT's the way. Oh, shoot. No reasoning, no, okay. That's unfortunate. We do have Super Poly, though. And we should have Secretarion Dragon in our extra deck, right? Let's see. Fusion, 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 fusion. We don't. Secretarion against Dracotail is a great option. A dragon and spellcaster, and then while you control this fusion summon card, your opponent cannot activate the effects of special summon dragon or spellcasters. That is what we need to start putting in our extra deck. Rahu is going to fuse with the deck. We're going to use 1 card in the hand. This will non-target pop a back row card, taking out the Super Poly before it's even activatable. We don't know which one it is, though. We didn't overset our back row to further bluff the Super Poly. But which one did we set first? Right? That's the psychology. Set the better one first. Oh my gosh, he did it. Which one? He set Super... If he knows that he knows that setting the first one's best, so that he still sets it anyway because he knows you would set the best one first, you would then set it second, but then you fake him out on that and you actually set it first, he then popped the wrong freaking card. Very well done. Good job, Moy. We're going to Fey Mina. Activate to fusion summon from the hand and field, come forth into the Gulamel. Now we have the Malulu setting. We're going to take out the Super Poly. Wasn't even activatable. There's a water, there's an earth, but there's a dragon and a spellcaster. So that is when we would have Secretary on Dragon them. Not enough for lethal, but we do have plays. We are able to pop a card, return a monster back, negate a spell, pop a monster. We could fusion summon, we could Ash, about 6 disruption with the opportunity to draw 2 additional hand traps. It's maybe 8. Let's see what happens. Even if we draw a good spell, they'll just flame it. We're gonna horn it. We're gonna draw a card. Okay, you wanna push me in the back row? I'm just gonna draw a card. I'm gonna flame it. Negate the Debtors. I'm gonna draw 2. And as I said, we could draw into 2 hand traps maybe. Called by, no good. Let's see what the other one is. Horn it back in the extra. This is a valuable play in the mirror match potentially. No hand traps off of 2 newly drawn cards. Ain't no way. Moid, that's unfortunate. I appreciate you. I do enjoy your deck very much, and I want to see more from you, all right? Let's get to it. Let's do it. Let's hop on another.